Hello and welcome to this video in which I hope to contribute something to the flat earth debate with the help of this inspirational lady, Dame Ellen MacArthur, who in 2005 set a new world speed record for single-handedly circumnavigating the globe, which is the global version of it, although I never really bought into the hype about it, because when you look at the map of where she sailed, and this is the only one I can find on the internet nowadays, you can see that she set off from Britain, she sailed past Africa and around Antarctica, back again, which on this map looks okay until you consider that Antarctica is the narrowest part at the bottom of the globe. It's not the same as sailing around the equator, which is what I'm sure most people would think of as circumnavigation. She set off from Britain, sailed through the Atlantic to Antarctica, which you can't see on this map, and back again. Now, it's quite a long way, but it's not circumnavigation. If she'd come around the equator, then she would have crossed the vast expanse of the Pacific. If you look down at the bottom of this globe, you can just make out Antarctica. But to sail around that bit there is never going to be the equivalent of sailing around the Pacific. And that's not even the whole Pacific. If you look at Hawaii just there, if you were to swivel it around, there's Hawaii. So you've still got all of this Pacific to go, even if you take a shortcut through the Panama Canal and then around the Atlantic, which would be fine. That would be circumnavigation. It wouldn't be setting off from here, coming down the Atlantic, around the Antarctic and back again, which, as I say, is a long way, but it's just not circumnavigation. Even if you call your autobiography Full Circle, it doesn't make it a circle. It's an odd teardrop shape down the side of the planet. So I've always been underwhelmed by the whole MacArthur thing, until just recently when I've seen these videos on YouTube about the flat earth, and they keep showing this map, the azimuthal equidistant projection, and as soon as I saw that, I immediately thought of Ellen MacArthur, because if the Antarctic is this edge around the disk, and if she did sail around Antarctica, then she clearly did circumnavigate the Earth. And if the powers that be know that we live on a disk like this, then you can understand why they heaped so many awards upon her. She was given, she's been made a dame. Here she is receiving it from the richest human being that ever lived, whose name isn't Rothschild. There she is with the medal, and she received France's highest award as well, and plenty of other awards. She became a household name in the UK. So obviously someone puts a lot of store in what she did. So let's just imagine that we do live on a disk and that she did sail around the edge, and let's visualise that. If we say that she set off from Britain here and she sailed around Africa and around Antarctica, and this is rough because I'm using a trackball for this. We'll assume she didn't weave about so much, and we'll assume that she didn't take a shortcut across the Pacific and that she went all the way around here. Now it's not a circle, we've got this section here to account for, and we could work out the area of this with calculus, but since she started and finished from the same point, and since everything inside this journey is the habitable area available to us, let's just take it at face value and say that this was a circular journey, and use that to work out the area of this disk that we may or may not be on. So if we take the full circle, we need to know the circumference of the circle. We need to know the length of the journey. So we go to the font of all truth, Wikipedia, and we scroll down to her racing career, and here it is, the circumnavigation took 71.5 days, and it was 50,660 kilometres. So that's 50,660 kilometres was the circumference of the circle that she sailed. And if we know the radius of that circle, then we can work out the area. And we can work out the radius because we know the circumference, which was 50,660 kilometres. So let's get the calculator. 50,660 kilometres circumference, and we need to divide it by 2 pi. So over 2 times pi gives us a radius of 8,063 kilometres. So now that we've got that, we can go back to the area calculation, and it's pi r squared. So this is the radius, we square that, multiply by pi, and that gives us an area of 204,230,456 square kilometres. So how does that compare with the official size of the globe Earth? Go back to Wikipedia, scroll down to the size, and here we are, surface area 510,072,000 square kilometres, compared with what we just came up with, 204,230,000. This is less than half the official size of the globe. So it's a pretty rough and ready calculation. So I'm putting this out there for the big boys to have a look at. The flat earthers and the flat earth rebutters. People with more resources and more brain power with me should be able to use numbers like the length of journeys that people take when they say that they've circumnavigated the Earth, and you should be able to work out from that the actual physical size of either the disk or the globe that we live on. I don't think there's any conclusive proof either way, but at least this gives people something to work with. So that is for you guys to look at, really. But as an appendix, I just want to show you what Ellen MacArthur is up to these days, because she's retired from competitive sailing and she now has the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, and as you can see, their mission is to accelerate the transition to a circular economy. And this is a glorified way of talking about recycling. It's just that you should use resources in such a way that you can reuse them endlessly, in theory, and keep putting them back into the system. So circular economy sort of seems a bit of a coincidence. And then when you look at the logo, 3 circles arranged in such a way that these 2 circles look a bit like a tube. So there's a tube coming through the outer circle, a three-dimensional circumpunct, an eccentric quasi-vulvic totem, looks like to me. So, and then just look at the circular economy overview. Everything circles within circles. I don't know if that's telling us something, but circles do seem to play a large part in Ellen MacArthur's life these days. So there you go, professional flat earthers. See if you can do anything with this. And then just as one last word for people like Ellen MacArthur that are into the environment, if you want to do something about the environment, then recycling is one thing, but I think you really should start here. Do something about this, because I'm sick of looking up in the sky and seeing that every day, and I don't need some do-gooder telling me that I need to recycle in order for this to stop. So there you go, take what you can from it. Good luck with your calculations, everybody. Thanks for listening. and goodbye.